Okay. Any questions on the agenda? This is Legislative Mondays. Come on. I know we have a pack full of agenda. I know everybody done read over it.
Yeah, but before we get started, Councilman, can I say something? Can I make one comment?
You absolutely may.
Okay, we in Christmas of 2022. Yes, I made the same comment last year, Christmas 2021. Riding through the city of South Fulton, once again on another Christmas with no Christmas decoration. Once again, please. 2022, we still don't have any Christmas decoration coming through the city.
Miss Sheila, please. He been crying about it all year. Please, Miss Sheila.
No, I've been crying about it too. I'm just sick of going to other cities. College for everywhere you go, they got their city all lit up. And you come through the city of South Fulton, you look around and you say, is it Christmas time? Or, I talked about it last year. I'm talking about it again this year.
So, Miss Sheila, let me just say this. I was on it. Believe you me, I was on this since like February, March of this year. And I was just like, yeah, we need to get the lights, you know what I mean, and the pole lights, because I wanted to go up on National Flat Shows, Fairwood, Mallory, and Old Bill Cook. And so, coming down Red Oak, all of the major thoroughfares that people come through and see is that, you know, because it's really kind of a vertical and a horizontal design. And I said, even if we go every other light, even if we go to the entryways of those, that we need to make those happen. And so we were in the plan, and then the organization, they was just like, well, they was going to do it. The city was saying that they was going to do it because we need to get the rights from Georgia Power to put the extensions on that hold the banners. And so they were supposed to do that. And so when they said they was going to do it, I was like, okay, y'all take the lead and make it happen. And then came back that it was too expensive. But I was just saying that, you know, I wasn't worried about the expense of it. I was worried about just making it happen, because going back to the question you asked last year. And so it's the same thing. And I just wanted to see that, even though I don't really get all into the season like that, but it's not for me. It's for that just to let the people know that it is, you know, a given time, a great time of the celebration time. And so a lot of people love this holiday, and I think that we should, you know, recognize it and light it up. So I attempted to come out with, I had this little stay lit. And so I was asking, you know, people who live on those thoroughfares, if they have any lights in their house or garage to put it on, you know, their mailbox, or do it on their shrubberies, or, you know, as you come down the streets, that it can have some sort of, and ask communities to do the front of their entryways, so that we'll have some sort of, you know, lights or some things that the community can drive by and see. Because, you know, as you get off or buffing the road and get ready and go on, or you coming off of 29 and get headed on the South Fulton Parkway, heading eastbound, going towards the airport, you pass that way and then you look over to the right and you see these lights and you see people driving through, because Chick-fil-A does their little light show there. And so I'm just not happy about it, bottom line is. So I'm trying to do something even still to this year, because Christmas is still 2 weeks away. There's still time available. I'm leaving out the 23rd. And so, but I have until that moment to try to make something happen. And so I have not given up. I go to the zeros. So, but however, I'm asking anybody who is on the main street of 93rd Street, if you have any kind of lights, decorate your mailbox or something of that nature, because as a city as a whole is not going to do anything. But however, I will try to do all I can. And I don't know, maybe Chief Dingler can help us out. I don't know, the fire marshal, but you know, it's but however, yeah, but we're gonna do a tree out here for outside for at Burdette. So we'll do a tree lighting, a little ceremony deal. But yes, Miss Sheila, I'm not happy about that either. So I'm disappointed. But next year, it's not even matter what the city does or not. I'm just gonna do it. Period. So that is That is my promise to you. You know, maybe my last year, but hey, whatever. We're gonna go out the thing, right? We're gonna go out lit. I can tell you that.
Right, all the people on the phone, they say we're gonna have lights next year. Y'all here?
No. Get it. It's recorded. It's recorded and verified. So I'm going to personally make that happen. Get this. It's going to be a guarantee because get this. I promise you that it's going to happen. You know what I mean? And so that's my commitment. I have 2 commitments: Friday Night Live and these lights. Okay. But the Chief Dingler's on, and so go ahead, Chief. And so I'm going to mute and.
Well, good evening and Merry Christmas to you. I look forward to a safe holiday period. First, I want to remind you of some wonderful events that we have going on in the city. Our Christmas lightings, our Christmas extravaganza at Welcome Park on December 17th. And you can always support the fire department by donating toys that will be delivered in the Fulton Industrial Corridor on December 21st. I've had the great pleasure of meeting many citizens in the city of South Fulton. And along with that, I have realized how essential it is for the fire service to make your home a safer place for you as a citizen. We had a tragic fire in October of this year, and 4 people lost their lives. I want to remind you of smoke alarms. I will send you the many materials and we will provide you 2 smoke alarms for your home with 10-year battery lives. If you're in need of a smoke detector, you can simply send us an email at crr@cityofsouthfultonga.gov. Smoke alarms are critical to your safety. It gives you the time that you need to escape from your home. The ionization of a smoke alarm allows it to pick up on very small molecules of smoke entering that. The other thing that you need to be is plan your own escape. Be sure that you, your family, have an exit strategy for your home. If you have an upstairs, you may consider a ladder, a chain ladder that allows you to put your upstairs window. You also need to have everyone plan where they want to meet, the mailbox, the neighbor's house, because unfortunately, 75% of our house fire deaths, usually the victims are found within a few feet of a door trying to get out. Know your exits. Don't always go to what your routine is. The garage door, maybe that you go in, the kitchen door, the front door. Don't be afraid. If you have a fire, exit out the window if you can. Always look at your home and know that we're willing to, we can come out and give you a home safety survey, but look at your home for any common electrical problems that you may have. Do not use extension cords for extended periods of time. They're not like having a regular conduit and outlet. Be sure that you have the GFI outlets near water sources, such as you probably have in your kitchen and in your bathroom. And if you don't have them, let's look at maybe making some changes that you can make your home safer. And I say that because the City of South Fulton Fire Department responds to over 3,300 calls every 3 months. That is a lot of calls for service. We have 9 stations, meaning we have 9 engine companies, 2 ladder companies, and our total personnel still is right under 170 firefighters, including our administrative staff. We want you to be safe and we want to serve you. And we will make every effort to provide you smoke detectors. We can do home safety surveys. We'll provide you the literature that helps you build your plan your escape for your family. And we look forward to you having not only just a safe holiday season, but a safe and happy 2023 as we move forward. We are a building city. I agree. We need to become a main street where we can put up the holiday decorations, make our, work with our local, both Georgia Power and EMC, because our city is serviced by multiple utilities to make some of those things happen. But we can make them happen together. And that is most important, that we push forward the main goals and mission of our city. One is that our city is a thriving area for jobs, economy, education, and public safety and services that we provide. And that's what we look forward to being a part of. I've been in the fire service 33 years. I love it every day. And if we can help or provide something new for you, give you words of wisdom, provide you a smoke detector, that's what we'd like to do. So I would like to open it up to anyone who may have a question about the fire department or some of the services that we provide. I don't know how to do questions.
It's an opportunity to ask questions. This is Chief Dingler, and so feel free to ask away.
Hi, Chief. My name is LaTanya Rucker. How are you? Hello?
We can hear you.
Yes.
Yes, I have a quick question for you. Where can you find the ladders that you could use if you have an upstairs level? I noticed you said something about the chain ladder. Where can you find those at?
The chain ladders are usually, you can order them online, or Home Depot and actually Lowe's both carry them for, it's called a fire escape ladder for second floors, and it hooks over the windowsill and allows you to drop the ladder down.
Okay. All right. Do you have any idea what price range those run in?
They usually run about $79 to $99 just for the escape ladders.
Got you. All right. Thank you so much.
I made my sister have one.
I know that's something that I think is utmost importance, especially when you have a 2-level or 3-level. So that's something that I had brought to Councilman about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I was just curious about how do you go about getting one, and if the fire department offer those type of things, but now I know where I can get it from. But thank you so much for your service.
Yeah,
Thank you.
They start anywhere from $39 to $119, according to Google.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, Jane Williams here, Chief Dinger. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I just have a couple of questions. I'm clear on what you all do as far as, with safety and fires and different stuff like that. So I just want to talk a little bit about fire extinguishing. Are you able to talk about that?
Yeah. Your fire extinguisher for your homes are a little different than what we require for commercial businesses. Now, a commercial business is required a state certified fire extinguisher, and a state certified fire extinguisher has a yellow state tag. It has a state seal tag and can be purchased at a reputable companies such as like Cintas or any of the fire extinguishers companies, and those are required for commercial businesses. In your residential home, you should have a ABC 5-pound or 2-pound in your kitchen, and you might put a 5-pound ABC type extinguisher in your garage area, especially maybe by the door, in case you have something in your garage that could ignite. But for homes, even in you should have the extinguisher, but also for grease fires, it's easier to cover the grease fire or use flour or baking soda to extinguish the fire, because grease, when you put water on it, will explode. It will just roll out of the pot and cause greater fires. Most extinguishers, we did a program trying to help people with the Ronnie Thames Foundation, and we do reach out and try to do those. They provide residential sprinklers, residential fire extinguishers and stuff for the homeowner. But all of our commercial buildings are required to purchase their own, and just one commercial extinguisher, probably with the inspection stuff and their annual contracts, probably cost them about $125 annually, but they are required by code.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Chief.
We have daycares that have in-home daycares. We also require the in-home daycares, they must have a business license. They must have a commercial fire extinguisher in the home. They're allowed reflective exit signs. You know, we make concessions, but we make sure they have the proper equipment, because we don't want someone to entrust their children without someone who has the knowledge. And for all the daycares, there's a state law that we teach them what they call the caregiver certification. And so we have instructors in the fire department that make sure all of your commercial daycares, all of your in-home daycares, and all of the people who run personal care homes receive that fire safety education.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Chief Dinger. Thank you.
This is Chandra. I have a question for you, Chief. And I'm just getting on the call. You were mentioning something about second floor fire escape ladders.
Yes.
Are they, and this is for everyone's benefit as well, is there a standard weight maximum for those ladders? And if so, what is the maximum weight that the ladder goes to?
Most of the ladders that I've looked at, and I go from 250 pounds to 325.
Okay.
But you know, if it's a 250 pound chain ladder is more than adequate, usually for getting one person individually down the ladder, because you know, you want to be safe and not have multiple kids or adults coming down the ladder. You know, but that's usually what the range are. And they would usually come with a seal of recommendation, you know. So just like consumer products, you want to kind of look and see what did the consumer products, you know, the day pass it and what its rating is. Just like a normal ladder, it has a weight rating.
Okay. Second question that I have, and it's my last question. Did you mention that there is an organization that assists with homeowners getting fire extinguishers?
Yes, the Ronnie Thames Foundation usually does some programs that, you know, throughout that assist in getting residential. They're the small 2-pound extinguishers, and they're actually located in our sister city of Fairburn.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions?
Well, if there's no more questions of me, I do want to wish y'all a Merry Christmas. I want to be sure that if you need any literature from our office, I can always email it to you. If you need a smoke detector for your home, so having a smoke alarm in your home, please email us. We will be sure to bring them and install them in your home for you.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Chief Dingler. And she had brought some gifts tonight, but there's nobody here to receive them. But I am.
Oh, I'll be right over. What kind of gifts are they? No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, get this. No, hey, get this. Those are for people who come in person only. So hey, however, I know I got mine, and so it's all right though. You know what I mean? So
I got mine.
And D'Amico has hers, but hey, however, thank you
D'Amico,
again. We appreciate you so much for coming through. And Ms. Rucker and Tashandra, thank y'all for following up with those questions, because we did have, I did remember those about the fire escape and the fire extinguishers. And so, but however, then we have another person here to empty audience. So we're going to rethink this very well too in this process. Mr. Tenard, our Parks and Recs director. Hey, get this. Y'all, I wish y'all would have came up here and y'all would have seen all the changes that have been made up here so far that this director came in and just started making, because it's right, we live. And so it's to the parks and to what his commitment was and to what he said he was going to do, and has already done it. And as you walk up here this evening, and so it's amazing. And and we have the Outlaw Classic this Friday. So if y'all want to come by here, it's going to be great. We're going to make sure that this be an event which is a city signature event. It's going to be a toy drive associated with it as well. And then we have an agricultural Christmas this Saturday on the 17th. But however, I want to bring up Mr. Tenard as he gets set up. And, little guest right here. Lovely. Thank you, Chief. I appreciate that. And so,
Stop it. Stop.
I'm just going to, I'm going to just rub it in your face. And so, however, with no further ado, here's Mr. Tenard, our Director of Public Works. Public Parks and Recreation. I'm sorry.
I take that too. I take Public Works.
Please don't get me started on that, right?
Greetings to everybody. I appreciate the opportunity to always come out and be a part of these gatherings. I have two updates. The first update is, I think I discussed last time we were on, we mentioned the K9 unit that was doing, I guess, illegal dog or training down at the park. Actually, Lieutenant Williams went down, they identified the perpetrator, and come to find out it was actually somebody else as well. So we're following up with that. Number two is, we're in the midst of getting signs. So we've already ordered the signs. I know we talked about you all wanted signs on that field down there. So we ordered the signs. So hopefully the signs will be back in January FY23. What I would also like to do is, at some point in January, if possible, I would like to do a presentation in front of this group live here at Burdett to kind of let you know my strategic plan. I'm currently in the midst of meeting with all council members, but it's always good to have a face with a name. And I would like to you all to come in. Maybe we could provide some hot chocolate, some donuts, and I'll just do a whole PowerPoint on my presentation in terms of my strategic plan over the next 3 years. I think that you will find that definitely interesting, because I'm gonna bring in a lot of important people that's outside of South Fulton, that is in the city of Atlanta and Cobb, that can help me with this strategic plan. So I definitely would like to do that at some point, perhaps in January. Any questions?
And then you have your
oh, I'm sorry.
Your meeting.
I forgot. So another thing I'm doing is, I have the Directors Public Forum. We're actually blasting that out all over the rec centers. We're doing social media. So that's my forums where you'll have the opportunity to sit down with me one-on-one. An hour and 15 minutes. You can discuss anything, any parks upgrades, anything that you would like to see that you haven't seen in the past. That's just my way of getting out in the community and making sure you have that one-on-one FaceTime with me. So that actually starts next month. The flyer is already out, and I'm looking forward to those conversations. And those conversations could be held virtually, or we'll have them at Burdett, we'll have them at Welcome Mall, we'll have them at Creel Park. So I just want to make it convenient for those who cannot travel, who don't want to travel right now as well. So those start in January as well.
Absolutely. And so they're going to be here in Burdett at February, and it's twice a month.
That's right.
And so we have two opportunities in February, and it's from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's commitment, people. And so I appreciate it, Brother Bernard. And so, you know, if you come in and already putting in the work and you're doing the things that the constituents have asked for a long time. And this is not a one-on-one with the designee, with a representative. This is a one-on-one with the director. So your voices are not going to only be heard, but they're going to be felt as you see the changes as you come up into the park. And so you have a direct impact on what you see in your community. So I encourage everybody to take advantage of that and get on that schedule. So he'll be starting in January, but he's already actually started. And so because he's very accessible, and he's come here and given us updates. And so, but tell us a little bit about the Classic this Friday.
So listen, I'm excited about the Classic. You know, I'm one of those that original creators of the Classic. So I'm looking forward to seeing Outlaw's, you know, his wife and his siblings, and listen, this thing, I love Outlaw. Outlaw afforded me the opportunity to go to college. So this thing is huge for me. Being able to get up there, talk about some of the things, this individual allowed thousands of young men to go to college. Otherwise, we wouldn't have that opportunity just through sports and just his mentoring and what he meant for the community. So I'm excited. My wife is coming out. My son is coming out. We're going to make it a big party. So I'm ready for it.
I'm actually ready.
What time is it?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, 6.
What time is it?
I think we start at 6 o'clock on the dot, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, come out. We're gonna have loads of fun. We're gonna feed the teams. We're gonna have a hospitality area here in the back. Listen, the Outlaw Classic is the best event that I feel like. Now I'm biased because again, I helped create it, but he meant so much to me. So I get excited when we talk about the Outlaw Classic. It sets the holidays to me. That's the big thing to me. So we're going to have a lot of fun. The kids going to enjoy it. We're going to keep the kids out of trouble. They're going to be in there playing ball and trying to win.
Now, I want to make, because we would have to make this happen in 72 hours, but I think we can, putting our heads together, is because one of the issues that was on was the Christmas lights throughout the city. And so I tried to get that accomplished, but it wasn't able to. But do you think we can try in the next 72 hours to get some Christmas lights down the Birdhead and down up Meadows Way, up Birdhead Way? So as they come down to, we can't do it for the whole city, but we can do it for this area. And so I'm just saying, because this is how, and he's right. I am biased towards this. I'm not even going to lie. I am completely biased towards this event because as Brother Tanar was a product of this, and so was I. The hard pride determination was more than basketball. It was about the game of life. And, you know, to be a representative of this area where I'm from, you know, that just shows that, you know, it's more than a game. But it's about heart, pride, and determination you have about your city, what you want to do for your community, and particularly for the youth in this city going forward. And, you know, people talk about them all the time, but they come here, we want this to be a haven for them to push them forward, not just in sports and athletics, but in life. And so that's what it means to me. And so I'm completely biased about it. I'm not even going to make it's the granddaddy of signature events for the city of South Fulton, bottom line. And so this is what legends are made. And so anywhere else is scrimmage. Okay, they go practice, but you want to be a legend, you want to be legendary, you come right here through this center. And so that's all I gotta say about that.
Now here's the thing, Mayor Pro Temp is actually Birdhead Park. You know, they produce a lot of college players. I just saw one individual say her daughter played out of Birdhead. There's a lot of young men and women that this is the major park for basketball in the city of South Fulton, but not really only in the city. Even when you look at Atlanta, Dominique Wilkins used to come here back in the day, Spud Webb used to come here back in the day. Birdhead is really like one of the meccas when it comes to young men coming together, learning discipline, and being afforded the opportunity to go and play at a higher level. So when people say Birdhead in the state of Georgia, they say, oh, I know what it is. That's Coach Law. So we take pride in that. And listen, here's the thing. As long as I'm here, I want this event to grow where we can't even have it here anymore. I want them to say, the fire marshal to come in and say, look, guys, you got 30,000 people in here. I just think that we got to do a better job in getting the word out. I don't think we do better job putting it out on social media, having these advertisements. So one of the things I'm going to do next year, I'm going to start a podcast. And in that podcast, it's going to give you updates in terms of what we're doing in parks and around the city. So we're basically bringing government to you. But back to the lights. So,
let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
So the lights, I can actually inquire about it, but I'm not gonna say I can make it happen. But at least I can ask. The tree is not there. The tree definitely. We don't have a tree out there yet. Okay, the tree got to happen. So definitely the tree, definitely that, and maybe some lights all, in this area. So I can make that happen. I can make that happen. But by Creflo Dollar Church coming all the way down, I don't know. I know you. I don't know about that. Yeah. I just you give me another 6 months. We'll have a train coming down the next time. We're gonna do a parade.
They looking at asking for fireworks.
No. But seriously, what we need to do is, the original idea was to make this a weekend event. Was to start on Friday and end on Sunday. So next year I want to start on Friday and end on Sunday. So what was supposed to happen is the big championship was here. And then what they would do, they would play at Welcome All, but the big finale, but it would still be centered around every gym would have Outlaw's picture in it. Because it's the Outlaw Classic and the championship was here at Burdett. So originally that was supposed to happen. Don't understand who dropped the ball, but in FY23 that it'll happen. Does anybody have any questions for me?
And thank you so much for that, brother, because see, y'all have to understand. So then when somebody shares the vision that you have and understand what all goes into this, and it's not me just talking. And so it's just something that, is relevant to the community. It's relevant to the city. It's relevant to the region. And so that's not coming from me. And so it's a shared idea. And so that if you didn't come up through here, you wouldn't understand it. But at the end of the day, that we just come be a part of it, and then you'll get a grasp of what it really means, particularly to a lot of young men in our community. And so when we talk about, crime and how we can address these things and what we can do for the youth, well, this is one of the areas that we can invest in heavily. And so not just money, but just time of yourselves to come out there and land. And so we got programs that's going on right now. And so it is things of that nature that is finally coming. It's a slow process, but hey, look, it's finally coming, it's finally here. However, this is your opportunity as the Parks and Recs director himself, any questions that you have, and what that you can offer, and what you would want to see, and what time that he can give to you one-on-one. So he's here right now.
So ask away. Councilman Reeves, this is Sheila. Would there be security in the parking lots? Because I knew two people that wanted to come over there tonight with you, but they wasn't sure about security. They didn't want to be in that parking lot and come through there at night alone. So I don't know if you're considering that. That's why the people didn't come over for the meeting. I know two people said that they were going to come, but when they passed by Burdett, it was dark. So they didn't know it was any security. They didn't want to have to walk into Burdett and out alone. So that's why they just came home and dialed in. So is it going to be security in the parking lot?
Well, let me just say this. Go ahead. Well, I'm going to let the Parks and Director answer that.
Okay, so
for the event, would there be any?
Here's the thing. Yes, there will be. We have park rangers. So for that event, I'll make sure Lieutenant Williams, I get with Lieutenant Williams. Anytime we have an event like that, we just had what's the event we had when we passed out the turkeys? We had police escorting them in. So so anything like that, yes, ma'am, we'll have security. Yes, ma'am. But I do want you to feel comfortable, even if it goes so far as to when we have these meetings, because I need to see your beautiful faces. I need you here. So even as it relates to these meetings, if I have to get Park Patrol here at these meetings, I'll get Park Patrol here at the meetings as well. So I'll make sure that happens. Security is a part of any event we have. Because I do want you to feel comfortable, but I do need to see you next meeting, because I would love to do a presentation for you all.
Absolutely. And to answer your question, Sheila, tonight, yes, there's programming going on right now in the gym. So it's security, but what they had, the question was she had about the lights that people came by and drove by and saw it was dark. That's because there's a lot of trees and you see it. So yes. But they can already know as those improvements that, you know, we have went over with 2 years ago. This is nothing to do with the new director, but now that we have a new sheriff in town and somebody who's committed, just come in, you can see when we said we're going to be lights and there's coming, they are coming. Just come in and look at just a little bit of changes that you see from the new little benches and things of that nature, and you have a sitting area that you can actually sit down in. That's what I'm saying. So that's coming. So, you know, we have someone who is active in their duty as director. So that's all I can speak for. So, and this is park system wide. Now, this ain't just to Burdette, it's a building a park system. And you have to understand something, that system is going to take time, but we have somebody who sees a big picture.
Question I have for you, Mr. Tenard, is who is the coach, or what's the name of the coach that you mentioned in regards to the classic?
Coach Outlaw.
That's his last name, Outlaw.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Outlaw actually was in Fulton County. Wow. You know, he was in Fulton County. Unfortunately, he got sick towards the end, so he didn't transition over. I actually took his job. He was a rec manager for over 35 years. I actually took his job when he decided to retire due to health reasons. So I was able to transition into his rec manager position, and then I left and actually came back. But he was in Fulton County for about between 35 and 37 years. Oh. And he really served the community.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Any kind of a park or nature preserve or any kind of green space for our district, because we know we're the only district without anything.
Sure.
Thanks.
So yes, ma'am, that's actually coming. I think that's a part of the master plan. Once I do a deep dive into the master plan, I got to kind of see how that's going to be funded. But yes, ma'am, I think every district should have some green space or walking trails or things of that nature. I think nowadays it's non-traditional. Everybody want parks where you can ride your bikes and you can have these. That's called, all of that is quality of life, passive parks. So I think every park in South Fulton should have those passive parks. And even down here at this park down here, I'm one of the ones that I think it needs to have a track around it, a soft surface track. So when you want to go out there and walk that track a couple of miles a day, you're able to. So yes, ma'am, to answer your question, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hold on. But let me offer 30 cc's of correction. If I hear you correct, Ms. Nicole, you said District 5 is the only place without green space?
No, District 7. I'm in District 7.
Oh, District 7. Oh, well, no, ma'am. Right. The corner of 138 and Old National Highway. We just got 14 acres, and we're going to make that, it's going to be a linear park. So it is already here. The purchase price was just closed on, so that I just want to be clear that yes, District 7, and y'all have a new District 7 representative, Miss Linda Pritchard, who's sworn in today. Right. And so she will be at the meeting tomorrow. And so you can come out there tomorrow if you can and get her information. But yes, at the corner of 138 and Old National, there was 14 acres that the city had purchased and closed on that is now going to be used for a linear park, and it's Parks and Rec coffers.
That's excellent. I was told that that was purchased for the new police department. So that's great news that we're actually going to get some green space out of that space. And that's the area by Jackson Music Store, correct?
Absolutely. Perfect. Because there's an additional 9 acres that was purchased for the police department. So it's actually a total of 23 acres that the city now owns, and 9 acres is going to be for police headquarters, as it was said by the city manager. And we're more so looking at a public safety complex to allow courts and things of that nature. And so maybe that can come as well. So
do we have a time for when that linear park will begin? I know it was going to take a while to complete, but do we have a time frame of when it's going to begin? Like in the next 1 to 2 years, maybe?
Well, from my peer review, it's, as Mr. Tenard said, that it's part of a parks master plan.
Mhm.
And seeming that District 7 does not have a park or green space right now, I think that since that is already purchased, I think that the first priority is to start on that first. And that can come before anything else is built, as that should be priority number one when we talk about funding and we talk about the activity and we talk about what is needed. And I'm gonna leave that up to the Parks and Recs director to whatever they want to start date. But as you hear from me, I am one vote on the council that will vote. If it can start tomorrow, they will have my vote for it to start tomorrow.
Well, that's great news that they've actually closed on the land purchase. So thank you for that update. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this Ms. Johnson. I just want to know if you all will be having cameras around these parks.
Yes, ma'am. So that's again, that's one of those things that those things that we probably should have had the last 10 or 12 years that we currently don't have. Atlanta have what they call Connect. I think it's called Connect Atlanta. It's those things are important when you're talking about facilities and you're talking about young people pulling up and the crime rate these days. So yes, ma'am, we will have cameras that are actually working around the facilities in the future. As long as I'm here, we're going to have those things. Public safety is a top priority for me. So yes, ma'am, to answer your question. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Tenard?
If you don't mind, can I say one more thing?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So one of the things I really, the next meeting is when? Is this the last meeting of FY22? Mm-hmm. It is.
The last in-person meeting that we're going to be virtual for, but we'll come back in person in January.
So in January, the 4th
No,
Monday.
we can come back. You know what? We're going to do, because if nobody else shows up, then we'll just come back. We'll come back the first Monday in January. No, the second Monday in January, because the first Monday is the second. I'm still out of town.
Okay.
And so the second Monday in January.
So again, I really would like for you all to come out so I can do a full presentation so you can really see the vision and where I'm going, because it's a number of innovative things that I'm doing, and a lot of things I'm doing is tailored to what's going on right now. I think it's very important to understand what's going on in our society right now, and our kids are suffering. So a lot of my programming are wrapped around their generational programming, from seniors to our teens. We have to start doing more to keep our teens engaged. So a lot of stuff that I'm doing and a lot of people that I'll be bringing in is centered around teens. And one of the things I'm doing is I'm doing a program called Thinking Out Loud. It's a male mentoring program where I'll have special guests such as Mayor Pro Tem. I'm gonna try to get the mayor of Atlanta, Andre Dickinson, who's from Adamsville on. So I want special guests to come in and talk to these young men, because our young men are dying. And it behooves me, and I have a 14-year-old son, not to do something to try to divert them from the criminal justice system. So that's one of my key pillars going into FY23, to have programming that are geared towards teens, because teens are dying at a rapid rate. So I really would like for you all to come out, take a look at the presentation, maybe perhaps give suggestions, and we can go from there.
Thank you. And this is Nicole again, District 7. I know, in my opinion, one of the things that's lacking for our young men, especially, and women, is they don't get early introduction to technical skills. So some high schools around the country, even in high school, they have students working on architecture, working on engineering. So they actually come out of high school with a certain number of years to go into an apprenticeship, like to go in and sit for an exam. And I think if maybe we can incorporate some real life skill sets that these young men could use, whether it's woodworking, automotive mechanics, engineering, I'm not engineering, but plumbing, electrical work, maybe software engineering, but things they can actually use that would help them, because one of the main drivers of this teen violence is a lack of income mobility, not just being income, but the ability to move, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we'll do some financial literacy classes and things of that nature, but you're absolutely right. Just keeping them engaged. A lot of this crime is crimes of hope. There, you know, I tell people when these kids are losing hope, once you lose hope, you become dangerous. But we have to teach them how to be a part of the economic system, how to get out there, you know, get a LLC, get a 501c3. All of these things have to be taught, just like individual taught us. So I definitely agree. That's part of my workforce development plan.
And I'm showing them the area. Yeah, I'm glad you spoke about that. That they put a wall up here, but that's getting ready to come down too, and there's going to be glass. But that's our computer lab that we're going to be having for coding, you know, for girls who code, for boys who code, young men, and seeing, you know, I mean, technical assistance. And it's going to be state of the art, because one of the things that, there is a new language out, and it's called coding. And that is, you can look at that like a major league of baseball, and coding is out there because these big companies and corporations recruit these kids straight out of high school, going and making 80,000 plus a year straight out of high school. And so this is real opportunity. This is something that is going on now. And so that, and for me, I believe every kid forward, every child forward. And so, and the future is technology, but the future is here. And so we want our centers to be, have the bandwidth to provide them the opportunity through practicing as they want to enter into these programs. So you're absolutely right on that. And that's coming, because we're about to get ready to redo all of that. I don't know how that got miscommunicated, but Burdett is going to be one of them centers. All our parts are going to be them centers. And so it's they have a facility, and that we should just, you know, look at that from that holistic approach. But thank you for that question, because we are committed to that.
Oh, that's some great news. Thank you, guys. Thank both of you, because that's some great news. That's some practical skills that, like you said, will give these kids a feeling that they actually do have a future. And that's the main thing. Some of them don't feel as if they have a future, period. So exactly. That's dangerous. So thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, well, brother, you did a great job in explaining that, brother. I appreciate it.
So everybody,
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
We don't have in the city of South Fulton, in the district 5. I know in our district, we don't have a warming center for homeless people that are homeless, and you see a lot of homelessness in this district. And on the cold winter days, are you all having any plans on opening up like Burdett as a warming center? Is that in the plans?
So actually, it is. I was just speaking to, I forgot what department head it was, and he was trying to spearhead that. So yes, ma'am, to answer your question, Burdett, welcome all. It will be, and I think Creel Park will be one as well, and Sandtown too. So yes, ma'am, that's already in the making. Yes, ma'am.
So yes, Ms. Sheila, it's coming. So we've been working on that for quite some time. So
Maurice, I'm sorry, Jane here.
Go ahead, Jane.
No, I just wanted to tell Mr. Denard, I think the last time I reported that the crossing light up here between Shell and the BP was not there. It is, it's there. It's there and it's working.
Okay, that's great. So I'm doing okay.
Yeah, you doing all right.
I'm doing all right. That'll about be 30 more days.
Yeah.
It's 30 days at a time.
More days. We'll give you about 30 more days.
Yeah, it's 30 days at a time.
That's right. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, any more questions?
When is the Outlaw Classic again? Give me that date again.
This Friday, December the 16th. The flyer has on there at 5 p.m. That's coming in, but the game time things will start around 6. So yeah, you just come start arriving at 5 o'clock. How many of y'all coming?
I knew Outlaw from going to Welcome All. I've been walking for years. Outlaw used to be at Welcome All. I know the young man in there too who took Outlaw's place. He probably know me when he see my face. I was at Welcome All every day walking on that walking trail. He would encourage everybody else to work out and walk, but he didn't do it himself. He was a mess. He was a mess.
Oh, you talking about Outlaw?
Yeah.
Who you talking? Oh yeah, definitely. He wouldn't walk to that. He would walk up there to the chicken place or something, but he wouldn't.
Oh, pork chops! Don't leave them pork chops.
Oh yeah, yeah. I used to get on him all the time, Coach. You got to let it go. You got to let it go, and he wouldn't do it.
He gonna encourage you to work out now. That was him. I walked up there every single day. Every day on my lunch, I would go up there and walk. He gonna encourage you, but he wouldn't do a darn thing but sit in that office.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it Friday.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If anybody else, I encourage all the people on here to come on out. And so, show some support for the kids out there. Show some support for the program. This is right here. And we fought hard. I had to fight hard for 2 years to get this back here. So, thank God we got a director who understands and the person who put it on. But this is right here. So I can't do no more than that, but just bring the opportunity. So, but if y'all don't participate, then, you're losing the opportunity to come right here in your community. It's sustainable. It's what we are doing. So, and we're gonna continue to do it because I'm here to work for the youth and for to have them programs. But participation is key to show them that it's a buy-in, that the community is behind them, and so let's offer them some encouragement as well. So, however, any more questions for Mr. Tenard?
I'm here.
Well, sir, I think that's got it. We got a few more minutes, and I'm gonna ask these, if they don't have any questions about the agenda, and we're just gonna go ahead and adjourn. And I'm gonna go ahead and get back home in my warm house. And so,
hey, Corey.
Yes, ma'am.
This Miss Johnson, it's not about the agenda, but we have a problem, and I mentioned that to you before. At 5855 Fairwood Road, okay, these kids are hanging out in the basement of that house. They are leaving the school. So I called the school and reported it, and to the policeman up there, they said that that's on private property. They cannot go on private property. Union City said that's not in their jurisdiction. It's in the city of South Fulton. We have called, several people have called the city of South Fulton. They come out, they don't come back no more. Those kids are in the basement of that house.
Is that an abandoned house? Is that an abandoned house?
Yes, it is.
Okay, we'll take care of it. Don't worry, we'll take care of it. So how are we going to take care of it? If anybody has an issue with it, I cannot hear the complaints about how we're going to take care of that, because this is going to be necessary, because it involves our children, involves the safety of our children. So, but this is something that I'm going to use as an example of what I mean by it's going to be a tough deal. But I'm not going to care about the reactions of a homeowner who does not want to take care of their property, but they want to have it as a nuisance to our community, and it involves our children. So don't worry, I will personally take care of this, and we're going to do this. But I guarantee you, I'm not going to hear any backlash about it, because we're going to move forward in the direction of what we need to, and it's going to be effective. Is it going to be, an issue for a homeowner? More than likely. But do I care about it? No, because I care about the safety of the children more.
And Councilman Reed, the principal, Jason Stamper, also said they have a new program that's supposed to be starting. I'm not sure when, but it is going to include truant officers. Well, they won't be called truant officers, but so hopefully that will help as well, because I see a lot of kids that should be in school that are not in school.
Well, tell Mr. Stanford if he's more than welcome to come on this Monday night call and give us an update and brief us on this. And he's more than welcome anytime and any money to introduce this new program so we can get that out to the community. And thank you, Influencer Williams, as we appreciate all that you do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 7:31. It's time to go ahead and break out. Thank y'all all for joining the call. Y'all are the best part of the city of South Fulton. And thank y'all for taking out the time of y'all day to join the call. I appreciate y'all. And we're going to exit down and have an awesome day and Continue to have a blessed evening. I love you, and you can't do nothing about it. Take care.
Thank you.